The president sent and called Joseph, and he came in unto the Oval Office. And the president said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. But I have heard it said that you can understand a dream to interpret it. And Joseph said unto the president, I cannot do it, but God will give you the answer you desire. And the president said unto Joseph, in my dream I stood in the middle of an interstate. On either side of me there were 2 empty lots, but there arose from the ground in each lot a house. And both houses were identical. And behold, they were beautiful. They were surrounded by short, pleasant fences made of wood and painted white. And in the gardens of each house there sprung red and blue flowers. And inside lived 2 identical families. In each family there were 2 parents. And they were very happy, for they had jobs and they worked hard and they were allowed to have beautiful, safe houses. And in each family there were 2 children. And they were very happy, for they were never hungry, cold. And they had wide open futures. And both families smiled at me and waved. But then, one of the families began to weep. And their house began to shrink, and the paint began to peel off their walls, and their fence began to collapse. And now, the husband and wife were very sad, for they had no jobs, and they could provide nothing for their children. And on the walls there appeared graffiti, and one of their windows was broken, and there were 3 more children that came from the house, and they were very sad, for now they were hungry and cold. And their futures had grown small and dull, and some had no futures at all. And the family frowned at me and shook their fists. So I looked back at the other house, and behold, the other house had grown larger. Their fence had turned into a black iron gate. But now, the family was frowning, for they were afraid of the other house, and they were afraid to lose any of the things they had. And their gate kept getting taller, and their house kept getting larger. But the family frowned at me and shook their fists. And suddenly more and more cars were passing in between the houses, and the interstate grew wider. And even though the families could no longer see each other, they still shook their fists. I told this dream unto the cabinet, but there was not one that could explain it to me. And Joseph said unto the president, your dream, Mr. President, is understood. God has shown you what will happen. There will be 200 years of great abundance, and there will be 200 years of great famine in the land of America. The abundance will be so great that no one will understand famine. The famine will be so severe that no one will remember abundance. And the president said unto Joseph, so we will store supplies during the many years of abundance so that we can provide for the years of famine. But Joseph shook his head and said unto the president, it is not so. For the 200 years of abundance and the 200 years of famine will be at the same time. Your people will be divided and filled with hate for each other, and should you try to intervene, both sides will accuse you of favoring the other. And they will hate you too. And the president said unto Joseph, tell me what to do. But there was just the president and his desk in his Oval Office filled with paper.